Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creepy Tales and Urban Legends. I'm your host, the Nightwalker. And yeah, before we get started, though, I would just like to ask people to do me a small favor. Um, Microwaves are not good for drying off your cat or dog. So please, just do me that one little favor. If you need to dry off your dog or cat, don't put them in the microwave. That's not a good idea. Okay. So, anyway, so we'll get to tonight's story. This is easily going to be probably one of the most identifiable, one of the most easily recognizable urban legends there is, but it is one of my favorites. That's why I wanted to go ahead and do this one. I love this urban legend. I've heard it many, many times, and it's in. You go watch the movie Urban Legends. They actually do a variation on that urban legend, and it involves Danielle Harris from the Halloween series. We're going to talk about the urban legend. It has many different titles. Some people call it, aren't you glad you didn't turn on the lights? Or, in this one, I'm just going to call it Don't Turn On the Lights. So, this one here, it's a very, very simple story. Everybody's heard this one. It's one of the most easily recognizable. Um, it's been told in many different ways and things. So, usually the story centers around a young girl in college. And, she's, it's late night. She's, tired, but at the same time, she just wants to go, to her dorm room and get her stuff, and then she wants to take her books and everything else and go spend the night at her boyfriend's house. And so she goes, goes into her room and everything, but she knows that her roommate is going to be asleep, and she doesn't want to turn the lights on, doesn't want to wake her up, doesn't want to do any of that stuff. So she goes and very slowly, very carefully, she gets into the room and she just kind of looks around, you know, like I said, she never turns on the light. So she's just trying to be careful, trying to, make sure she doesn't make too much noise, make sure she doesn't, cause too much of a struggle or anything like that. So she ends up, she finds her books, gets all of her stuff, and, once satisfied, she feels she's got everything. She's okay. She didn't wake up her roommate. She's going to go and she's going to spend the night at her boyfriend's house. She does. Now, she's there pretty much, in the morning. She gets up, then she goes, does her daily classes, does her routine and everything. And it's the afternoon, so she decides she's going to head back over to her room. And so when she's getting into her dorm hall and, she's approaching her room, she sees that there's a lot of, detectives and police and people standing there and all this, and she doesn't understand what's going on. And so she comes up and she asks, what's going on? And they're like, who are you? And she explains to the cops that, this is my dorm room. I live here. What's going on? And she's all like, okay, so, the girl in here was your roommate? And she's like, yeah, she was. What's going on? What's wrong? And it's like, well, you better come in here with us, but, you need to be prepared, for what you're about to see. So, of course, that really, startles her. And so, she goes into the room and she sees that there's blood all over the walls. There's gore. There's, um, you know, internal body organs all over the place. There's blood everywhere, things like that. And her roommate is just completely mutilated beyond all belief. And then, you know, she's, of course, the girl is completely freaked out and she's horrified by what she's seeing. And it's the most disturbing thing ever. But there is one little thing, though. The little, the little twist on the cap and everything of this whole thing is written on the wall in her roommate's blood is the sentence, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the lights?" Because, no telling what would have happened if she did turn on the lights. So thank God she didn't. Because obviously, you get it. You're not an idiot. You get it. When she was in there in the dark, whoever it was that killed her roommate was obviously still in the room with her. So she was very lucky that she didn't die. But anyway, like I said, this is one of the oldest urban legends there is. It's been told and retold many, many times. Um, like I said, they did a variation of it in the movie Urban Legends. It's been done in other incarnations in other movies and things like that. But it is one, I try to avoid like some of the more common ones. I try to find like more uncommon, but I just figured it was time, let's go ahead and just get this one off the shelf and, just go ahead and put it out there. So, and it is one of my favorite stories. I love that little twist at the end there. So, but anyway, that's going to do it. So, if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. And I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. There'll be weekly videos posted, and ring the notification bell. You can get notified if you're interested in future videos. So until then, this is the Night Walker, and I love urban legends. I love ghost stories and creepy tales and bizarre facts and things like that. So so yeah, so please come back, and you know by the way, you better be careful, because if you're out strolling about at night, you might run into me. So take care.